Hey everybody, it's Dr. Levi and welcome to our show. This is the Dr. Levi Show. Today is March 22nd, 2017. Beautiful day here in Los Angeles. It was really, really hot last week here, but now it's sort of cooled down and it's really, really nice and wonderful. So I hope wherever you are right now, today, you're making it a great day. So much to talk with you today about. We're going to talk about women in business, female entrepreneurs, and some of the things that they have to deal with. The marketplace for men versus women is very, very unique. Why? Because so often women have so many challenges, so many not only glass ceilings to break through, but concrete ceilings to go through to make things even equitable. So I think today it's so apropos that we talk about business, we talk about women, and talk about their impact in the business community. But more importantly, talk about some of their struggles and challenges and what do they do to overcome? What do they do to either go over an obstacle, go around an obstacle, go under the obstacle, go through the obstacle, whatever is needed to make success theirs. I think in this society where so often women, I believe, are faced with so many misogynistic, antiquated views about what their place is in society or what they should do or what they can achieve or cannot achieve. I think it's so important now that we shine some light on that and that we raise consciousness, that we raise awareness about the fact that it's really, really easy to me that women should be treated fairly. They should be treated equitably. They should be treated with truth, with honesty, with respect. And if you think about it, is it that difficult? Let me see. No, it really isn't. I think we all go back to the point of, well, how do I want to treat women? Well, treat them the way you like your mother or your sister or your aunt or your grandmother or your wife treated. Treat them with love and kindness. It's really not difficult. I could see if this was some like real, difficult quadratic equation, that wasn't difficult. But now I think when it comes to life is really, I believe, about truth and honesty. So we're going to talk about women, we're going to talk about entrepreneurial endeavors, and more importantly about some of their challenges. Now, I want to give you a quick medical minute about something. Maybe it might be a medical 5 minutes, actually. I want to talk a little bit about obesity. So, the CDC, the Center for Disease Control here in America, the rates of obesity are the following. For adults, it's about 36%. Now, if you think about that, and that's mainly looking at males, and females actually slightly higher, about, I believe it's 38.4%. So if you really think about, obesity as a disease or really a pandemic, it's so important now that since there's an awareness about what the rates of obesity are, that we do something about it. So the rates of obesity for men are about 36%, for Hispanics, about 34%. For African American men, women, it's about 50% almost. And for Asians, I believe it's 24%, maybe 24. I think it's either 24 or 11. I can't remember offhand. So, I'm bringing these stats up because we have to do something about an epidemic in America, because it's not only affecting adults, it's affecting children. And you have to think, again, children now, over a third of them are overweight. Some studies have projected to be a third to 60% of all children are overweight or obese. So, and why am I bringing this up? That's the issue. We're talking about this today because, if you are obese, then you're at a higher risk for high blood pressure, for stroke, for cardiovascular disease, for diabetes, all these things that really can impact the quality of your life, the amount of things that you can do, because if you have diabetes, there's a high probability that you may get the following. Diabetes, let's talk about that briefly also. So it is a disease in which your blood sugar levels, your glucose levels are just out of control. They're very, very elevated. There are two types. There's type 1 and type 2. Type 1 diabetes, you're born with this. It's a defect basically in the pancreas, is not making proper insulin. And type 2, you can develop it from not exercising, not eating healthy, and making food choices that will impact the way your body is able to basically manufacture and coordinate the ability to store glucose. and how your pancreas will react to increased glucose also. So I'm bringing this up because with diabetes, there's an association of being a disease that has one of the highest percentages of preventable amputations. It's associated with blindness. It's associated with neuropathy. Well, what is a neuropathy? Neuropathy is the inability to feel your fingers or your hands, your feet, your toes. Something is, you know what? I'm going to sneeze right now. I apologize. This is going to be like really, really bad, I think. So, sorry, got that close. Sorry, I was just warning you. I was warning you. So I was going to have to literally step off stage and come back. Oh, gosh. So that's the sorry. So that's the bottom line there about diabetes and why we want to do things to prevent that. And also the issues here. Well, what do you do to stave off and fight against diabetes? Well, make healthier food choices. Have more of a vegetarian, plant-based diet. Less alcohol, less sugar. Modified carbohydrates. Just make sure that you're eating properly, and make sure that every day you're doing something to honor your body, to exercise. If you think about it, exercise is really it's like breathing. Breathing, going to the bathroom, taking a bath every day. These are non-negotiables. These are things we do every day. Well, exercise should be in that same list of things that we do every day, non-negotiables. So I want you to really think about it. I want you to really prioritize your health, prioritize your life, prioritize your body so that 2017 can be a phenomenal year for you. You deserve it. You deserve to have fitness. You deserve to have health. You deserve to have happiness. You deserve to have love. You deserve to have great relationships. You deserve to have all the goodness that these things are yours by divine birthright. So, but you can push them away by not being healthy. You can push them away by drinking a lot, by doing a lot of drugs, by doing things that you know aren't healthy, by watching 14 hours of TV a day with a bag of chips and candy and pies and cakes. We have to be aware of that, because if you do those things, trust me, your body will look like you do those things. When it comes to fitness, a fit body looks like a fit body because it goes through a sacrifice of what it takes to be fit. A non-fit body looks like a non-fit body because it just, that person, he or she doesn't do the work. And I say that not to point a finger at anyone, because I'm always pointing fingers at myself to do more, to be more fit, to be more active, to be involved in more fundraisers, to run more, to race more. So I want you to do the same. Now, I want to talk briefly about this past a weekend or two ago was the Susan G. Komen Foundation run here in LA with my team, which was really fantastic. So it was myself and Janet Rodriquez and Jamie, the Queen Princess Price, and Aaron Price, as well as their friend Marissa, as well as Oakley, our mascot, as well as Doris Driver and Austin Driver. It was really, really fantastic. We had a chance to run and walk the Dodger Stadium area. It was really great. It was a lot of fun. And I want to say it's so important that we give back. You have to really ask yourself at the end of every month. I do this every month. I will sit down and I will ask myself for just an hour or so, what have I done? What have I given back? Now, if I have a list of less than 5 or 10 things or I haven't given to any organization, then I have to really look at myself and say, well, Levi, you got to do better than that. So I want you to ask yourself, what are you doing every month to make the world, to make humanity better? What are you doing to strengthen the fabric of humanity, to make it filled with more love, more truth, more compassion, more honesty? I think it's so important that we do the following. We have to share our treasures, our gifts, and our talents. The triple T. You have to do that. And why? Because we're not here just to serve ourselves. We're here to give back. We're here to do what we can to make the world a better place. So I'm asking you today to look at what you're doing, look at what you're giving to organizations that you're affiliated with, look at the people that you're around. Because trust me, if you're around a bunch of selfish people, you might want to look at yourself. If you're around people that give more, that volunteer more, well, most likely you have a generous giving heart. And also, if you're around people that are not very giving, then guess what? You can make a difference. You can be the one that that flips the switch, that says, you know what? Hey, why don't we run together to raise money for a cause? Why don't we do something better to elevate consciousness? We have to do things together. It's not about what you get. It's about what you give away. How can you make the world a better place with more love, more kindness, more compassion? Volunteer at a veterans organization. And as I've said before, I love the veterans. Those women and men have given so much to this country. So it's so important that we give back to them. They should never be homeless. They should never be hungry. They should never be unhappy. That's just my personal thoughts about the veterans. Give what we can to them. Be involved with the Wounded Warriors Program, the OSU. I mean, there's so much to do. So, Pediatric AIDS Foundation. AIDS Foundation of America. I mean, there's so much. I mean, you can volunteer at Cancer Centers of America. There's so many things to do. You have to just think about what can you do that you would like to do to make other people feel better. You don't have to go far, trust me. Right there in your community, there are people that need a hug, need someone to tell them that they matter, need someone to let them know that they are worthy. They need to feel love. Don't we all need love? Think about that. Don't we all appreciate a great hug, a warm embrace? Don't we all enjoy that? So I want you to think about it. Are you doing that? Are you doing what you can to make the world a better place? Only you can do it. I'm doing my best. I can always do better, though. Trust me, I can always do better. Well, we have a great show for you today. Lots to talk about. It's going to be an interesting show with myself and with Janet Rodriquez of All Access Events here in Los Angeles, as well as we're going to try to bring in the owner for the show, Mr. Tony Sweet, to also have him involved, giving his opinion about some things too. So it's a power-packed show. We only have an hour, so we're going to get in as much as we can to talk about. So I want to really thank you for embracing us today. I want to, again, above all, thank you for joining us on our social media platforms, for subscribing, liking, and following us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Twitch TV, on Instagram, on YouTube. We're so grateful. Our YouTube following continues to grow immensely. So we're very fortunate and very helpful, and very happy, I should say, because we believe the videos are helpful. We believe that they are life-changing to help you do the following. 1, prevent any injury. 2, to get healthy. And 3, to maintain a life of healthiness. See, let me tell you about this. When it comes to exercise, so many people do the following. They can work out, and then they stop. They're happy with the results. They just feel like, okay, I'm going to stop now. But guess what? Life keeps going on. We keep on eating. So if you don't exercise, everything that you've worked for will magically reappear with friends and family and company. So you want to do what you can to work out every day, but this is the key. Listen at this. You want to work out and not have any guilt about it, not have any self-condemnation about it, not have any self-judgment about it, like, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm too curvy, I'm too heavy, I don't like the way this looks. No, you want to love yourself and love the whole process so that when you get to your goal, it's like, wow, I did it. Because when it comes to working out, no matter how much money you have, unless you do the work, nobody can work out for you. They can't lay you on a table and work you. It doesn't work like that. Strap you down and make you do push-ups, make you do sit-ups. If it were all that easy, no one can give you, myself as a physician, as a surgeon, we can't give you a magic elixir and say, pop, let me give you a shot, and boom, 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 you got a six-pack. No, if it were only that easy. Fitness is something you have to work for. Why? Because when you work for it, you own it, and it is yours. How wonderful is that? To earn it and to have it, and now it's yours. Then the issue is maintaining it. How do you maintain it? Well, by diversifying your workout. High-intensity interval training, CrossFit, running, rowing, hiking, walking, swimming, gymnastics, boxing, the list goes on. Choose your favorite thing to do and then do it. You don't have to do a lot. Nope. But you have to do something. You have to do something every day. Why? Because we eat every day. We eat every day. So you want to do that. It's so important that you do something every day to maintain your health and also to do what you can, again, as I've said many times before in the show, thousands of times now, to stave off diabetes, high blood pressure, osteoporosis. Let's talk briefly about osteoporosis. You want to do weight-bearing exercises, not just running. That's good, but not enough. You have to do weight-bearing exercises to increase the density of the bones. So weights will help you do that. So take your life into your own hands. Be fit, be healthy, and do what you can to maintain that. Well, so let's get on topic today. So the narrative of the show is about women, of course, and about women who are entrepreneurs, about the challenges that they may overcome, as well as about their inner ambition, their inner focus of making their lives work. You know, it's not only having the feeling of, well, I want to do business, but it's the thought of, I want to do it. Now it takes action, behind the thought to get the manifestation. When we say that you can do anything, it's true. What I believe with our minds and thoughts are things, of course. So you have to ask yourself, are you thinking your thoughts or are your thoughts thinking you? You have to think about that, Very powerful, I think. So you have to wonder, where are your thoughts coming from? And are you doing things that keep you focused on a target for your life, or doing things or having people in your life that take you off target? You have to really always ask yourself, what is your circle of friendship? What is your circle of family? Now the great thing is that family, well, you're stuck. Sorry. You got it. Whatever they are, they are. We can't choose our family. But our friends, business folks, people you work with, you can choose those. So if it doesn't work for you, you have to do what you can to say, what? I love the money I'm making in this job, but the people, I can't take very much. Therefore, again, all money's not good money. Get an action plan of action, and a strategy, and a 6, 8 months, 9 months, 12, whatever how long it takes for you, then get out of there and get on with your life so you can be happy, feel worthy, and feel self-validated. I think it's so much better to make less money for a little while and be happy versus make a whole lot of money and have no purpose, no self-worth feeling, not happy. I have to get up in the morning and say, oh, damn, I got to go to work. I got to deal with these people. Got to deal with a boss that doesn't treat me properly. Got to deal with people who are not very nice or kind or loving. That's rough. That is rough. Go out and start your own business. Now, let's talk about that. When it comes to self-starters, we have on the show today the amazing, the smart, the witty, the intelligent, the phenomenal, the incomparable, the ineffable Janet Rodriquez. Welcome to the show, Janet. Happy to have you with us.
Hi, Doc. Thank you. Thank you for having us. This is definitely going to be a topic to discuss.
Oh, yeah. We have a lot to talk about because you're at the pinnacle of that. You're a woman in business. You're a self-starter. You're someone that had these thoughts and these ideas and dreams, and now you've made it happen. You started All Access. When did that begin, actually?
We started All Access in 2009 when I was abruptly laid off from a medical organization.
Yes.
After working with them for 14 years.
Wow.
So I was at a Y in my life, and I thought, what do I do? Do I put scrubs back on, and do I see patients again, or do I start my own business?
Right. Now, when you had that thought, was there any fear associated with that, or was it really like a courageous, like, you know what? I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to make my life happen.
Oh, gosh, Doc. It was after the layoff, I was very depressed for like 2 weeks.
Yes.
I remember not even getting out of bed or staying in my jammies. What do I do? I have nowhere to go. It's early in the morning.
And bills still have to be paid.
Bills still have to be paid and so forth. So it was very challenging for me. And then I decided, you know what? Enough is enough. Get out. Let's go.
Exactly.
Let's make something happen.
Exactly.
I can only mope for so long. My
Exactly.
look like just do not care.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, yes.
That is fantastic. What did your family think when you shared with them that, you know what, I'm going to have my own business. I'm going to make this happen?
They were kind of already accustomed to me, taking over family events and planning weddings.
Just making it happen.
Just making it happen. So they were like, okay, well, that's great. I'm glad you're going to finally make money with what you do. You control our lives anyway.
Right. Because this is big. I mean, when you're planning everything from a wedding to a big business event, a red carpet event, to a quinceañera, to a baptism, a christening. I mean, these are big things. Takes a lot of coordination. And more importantly, I think one word that you epitomize, you have to be able to multitask in this arena of choice that you made.
Absolutely. Even just being here, I'm normally used to being behind the
Yes,
camera.
this is true.
So I'm like, okay, wait, there's
Right.
like 15 phones,
Right,
there's
exactly.
a laptop, there's a camera now
Right.
pointing at
And
me.
no
so-
intern today.
I know.
Right.
Right. Where's our intern?
Right. So I also want to ask our other co-host today, who's on with us, Mr. Tony Sweet.
We're putting together his camera.
Bring him on.
This is a huge topic. I'm so passionate about it, Doc, because
we have to talk
a
about
couple of days ago, can I just share
Yes,
what my post?
yes.
I posted on Facebook, and if I can read it, because it's really intense, and it received a lot of feedback.
Yes.
Some positive, some negative, and what I really enjoyed about it is that men and women interacted,
Right.
and then also it was shared, and several friends that have their own shows are going to make this a topic of their show as well, because
Fantastic.
we didn't realize what a nerve we hit.
Oh, yeah, it's a big one.
About women in business.
I mean, I read your post and I read all the responses
Right.
to the post. They were very intense. Some I thought were somewhat misogynistic in
Right.
their tone and in the way that the way it was stated wasn't very understanding.
Right.
There were some that I thought were like right on point. I thought your responses were quite apropos and appropriate. But I also thought it really gave me insight to seeing how people really think about this subject.
Right.
It's intense.
It really is intense, Doc, and it's unfortunate, but also it's a reminder that, kind of unfortunate. We still live in a man's world, and us as women, we have to face challenges. And I was just taking some notes right now. It's very different for a woman that has a 9 to 5
Right.
and has to report to a job
Right.
versus an entrepreneur who is really in sales. And
Very much so.
we're having to sell ourselves every single day.
Correct.
So they don't always necessarily buy our product. They buy who we are, what we represent, and so
And
forth.
what is projected that they want to have as a part of their organization.
Exactly.
Right.
And I love, I'm just a happy person by
Right.
nature. My
Right.
smile and I love, people.
And you
so
definitely
forth.
do.
That does not mean if I'm smiling and say, "Hi, good morning, sweetheart."
Right.
That does not mean I'm interested in you. We can go have
Oh,
sex
no.
right
No,
now.
no, that does not have
Right.
any type of romantic or sexual connotation. It's just you
Exactly.
being friendly, loving, and kind.
Right. And I know so many women in business for themselves, that's probably why they're successful, is that they have that attitude, they have that passion
Right.
for life, and they're happy. And most of us are perceived to be, a little too forward maybe, or a little too happy. Or
It's very interesting that people think that.
It's very interesting. Yeah.
Can you share that post? Would you mind reading that out? I really want people to get
Sure.
that. And we'll post it on the website too.
It's crazy. So on March 13th at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll tell you a little bit of story as to why I posted this
Right.
doc. So several months ago, I locked in an event
Right.
for a gentleman who is a very successful businessman.
Right.
And he hired me. We signed contract and everything to do an event for him.
Yes.
And then the day that I posted, this was March 13th, I get a text originally and then a phone call followed by saying that he no longer needed my services and that he wanted to cancel the contract, but I can keep the deposit. Thank you very much.
Wow. Wow.
And the reason why is because he said that he had found out that I'm no longer single and that I'm dating,
Wow.
and that because of that, my services were no longer needed.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
What was your thought about that when you read that? I mean, what was going through your mind that someone would say that like that?
Right. I was just so blown away. I would have respected him 10 times more had he had said, "I'm interested in you, and hey, can I take you on a date," or something
Right.
like that. But no, he just thought, well, I thought that if I gave you an event and gave you business, that you would come out to the state in which I'm in, and then I can wine and dine you and show you a good time, and then, so forth. So he was only going to give me
Wow.
his events because he was interested in me.
Thinking that you would go out with him.
Yeah, it's exactly. And I thought, single or not, business is business, and I
Yeah.
never ever mixed
Never
the two.
mixed the two. Never.
So
Never.
it was very interesting. So then I said, let me just go on Facebook and
Right.
post a little something.
Right.
I'm not mentioning any names because we're classy,
Right.
but I said, let me post a little something. So I
Right.
said, I'm inventing Facebook. As an entrepreneur, and many times business comes from men, why is it so damn hard
Right.
for men to understand that many women are strictly about their business and
Right.
not interested in you
Right.
on a romantic level? Regardless whether we are single or not, we have to make a living too and work hard for our lifestyles, and we are not looking for a meal ticket or do not appreciate any propositions.
Right.
Oftentimes flattered and humbled, but seriously, we are focused and determined to win in this big bad world called life. But and we don't sell ourselves short. Period. And then I said, my fellow lady entrepreneurs will concur the following, such as real estate agents. They just want to sell a home or list your home.
Period.
If they take you to go see a home, that doesn't mean they want to explore the bedroom.
No, not at all.
A lot of my female real estate friends say that to me all the time. Janet, I'm showing a home. Can you believe this guy just wanted to see the home like at 9 p.m. and he wanted to specifically just see the bedroom? Yes,
really?
Yes, it's crazy.
Wow.
Disgusting.
That's creepy.
I know it is. It's really creepy. And then myself as an event planner, my esthetician friends, and my massage therapist friends, always get asked for extra activity. Always,
really?
always. In
Scary.
fact, one of the comments on here is from an esthetician that says, or a massage therapist, that she just says she's a great deep tissue massager.
Right.
But she's not going to do a happy ending, no matter how much you pay her.
It's very crazy.
They get propositioned all the time.
Wow.
So and again,
in 2017, this is happening.
Right. Right. It's disgusting. And so when I posted this, Doc, there was over 80 people who liked the post. There was over 60 plus comments from males and females about, their perspective and how to see. There was even something, a female, I don't know who she is, but she says, well, that never happens to me. I'm very professional.
Oh, I read hers. I saw that on there. I saw that.
And I thought, excuse me.
Right. Because I think what she didn't get is that it may not happen to her, which is great. It doesn't mean it doesn't happen to other people.
Right.
It's not exclusionary. It doesn't happen to you. It happens to no one. Well, it doesn't happen to you.
Right,
but that's you.
Exactly.
I think many women have a very different narrative to share with us, like yours. It's very different.
Right. And I think it also has to do with the line of work. Maybe what she does is she doesn't interact with too many men, or she doesn't have to solicit the business from a man.
Possibly, but I also think, too, that solicitation can come from a man or a woman.
I was going to say, I get hit on from women just as much as I do from men.
Yeah, I don't think there's like a sex gender border there. I think it's people, if they want someone, no matter how they feel, if they want them, they want that person, no matter what their sex is.
Right.
Or gender.
I agree. And I think, it's important, us as females, that we stand our ground.
Or you have to.
We know our worth. We must understand what our worth is. And, of course, we want to keep it professional and so forth. But at the same time, we can't lose who we are. I am just a happy, friendly person. Right. I'm going to love life and love people.
And you have to stay that way because that's you're being true to you, Janet Rodriquez. So I think it's so important that no matter what is going around and where we are, that we don't lose touch with who we are, that we don't say, okay, well, this time I'll go on the casting couch. Well, this time I'll go into the real estate bedroom. Well, this time I'm on the massage table. I'll just do this thing. Because once you cross that line, and even if you never share it with anyone, you know what you've done and how it affected you.
Right. Yeah, it really is a tough situation. And then there was also a comment about, well, if you wouldn't post pictures about your body and explore your curves and so forth and so on.
Oh, I saw that.
Did you see that comment?
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, well, I'm also, my passion has been clothing and designing my own clothing line. And I happen to be a very curvy woman. I'm a Latina and so forth. So, I design clothes for curvy women.
Right.
I'm not showing any kind of skin. I mean, because I'm sure, Doc, you've seen the pictures from women where they're showing all sorts of skin and cleavage and booty and everything.
Yeah, but I tell you this, I think even in those pictures where they show their bodies, it still doesn't mean that they should be disrespected. I don't care if they have nothing on. Exactly. They should not be disrespected.
Right, exactly. But to my defense, I don't post any of those pictures. I'm fully and 9 out of 10 times what I'm posting is my design. That's my dress. It's my design. It's my curvy situation that eventually we're going to send out and you'll be able to buy it or whatever. But so that's what that is.
Right. It's just you. It's you.
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Sorry. I had to throw that.
Very humble Janet Rodriquez. No ego at all. Zero. Is
Tony on camera now?
Wow.
I don't have a camera.
Oh, you
don't want to see this.
Well, you can see the great, amazing, you can hear the great, amazing Tony Sweet off camera here. But as you heard her, Tony, no ego there at all.
Not at all.
Zero.
None.
No, it's called confidence. It's not conceited. It's convinced.
Just confidence. Janet Rodriquez, Confidence. I say yes to that.
And it's convinced. You have to be convinced, especially when you're in
You have to be
business for
committed.
yourself.
You gotta be committed.
When you're in business for yourself, Doc, you have to
Yeah.
walk in knowing that you're going to get
Very
that
much
event.
so.
You're
You
going to
gotta
get
be
that
all
gig.
in.
You have to
Yeah,
be.
it can't be.
Right.
I think when a duo kid, you have to walk in believing and knowing that, one, you're worthy of it, and you're going to give
Right.
a great product.
Right.
Whatever the event is, it'll be phenomenal.
Absolutely. Competition is very intense
Especially
out there.
in California.
Right.
For events.
Right.
You know, you got to be A1.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I think for you, as you were talking, one thing that I still want to bring about some of the posts is I thought it was very fascinating that some of the women who posted were very intense about what they thought about you and the post that you made.
Right.
And not in necessarily the most positive light.
Right.
You know, I always think that women should really unify, that they should be together, they should stand as one because there's strength in unity.
Right.
And there, I didn't see it as much.
Right.
The responses were not so unifying. I
Right.
thought they were fairly divisive, actually.
Well, you know, Doc, women can be very, very catty and very.
I think people can be. I
True.
don't think just women. I
True.
think people can be catty.
Right. But women in general we're a little bit more defensive and competitive, you know. And I have to say, Doc, it takes a lot of courage to own your own business and step out of what's
very much so.
normal.
Right.
So I get asked all the time, Janet, how do you do it? And how do you wake up every morning and not worry about, you know, not having a steady paycheck or things of that nature?
Just do it.
And it's tough, especially when you've got men that proposition different things to you. But I have to say, I understand the industry and I understand the market, and I understand there are women that do sell themselves short and do take the meal ticket and for those women, I will pray for and high five you if that's what works for you.
Right.
But not all women are like that.
Right.
Same like not all men are like that.
Oh, very much so.
Not all men are disrespectful. Not all men would have done what that client ex-client of mine did.
Right.
So it just works both ways.
Now I'm just curious too, with a client who does something like that, do you ever see for yourself a way to mend that fence and to have that client come back in a more respectful way, for you to reach out to them and say, hey, how can we work this out better now that we know that the lines have been well demarcated about this is a business, this is not personal, this is not romantic, this is not sexual?
Right. Well, when I got the tax, I received the tax, and originally I was speechless. I didn't know how to respond. So I took a couple of minutes. I meditated about it, and I prayed about it.
Meditation. Yep.
And then right as I finished my meditation, he called. He called, and he says, I probably should have never sent that text. I should call you, and he was very nice about it. And he says that he, admires my hard work and he admires what I do. But he says, quite frankly, I don't need an event planner. I really was just giving you this business
because you wanted to go on a
I was
date.
Interested in you, and I thought that you wouldn't give me time of day, and I thought you wouldn't go out with me unless I brought you out here and did some work with you or whatever. So I thanked him, I thanked him for the opportunity. But according to my contract, it says that if he cancels within 45 days, he gets partial deposit back. Right. And he says, no, go ahead and keep it. And so instantly I said, I don't want your money. Not all money's good money. I'm sending you back your money.
Exactly.
And then I thought, no, I'm going to stick to contract.
Right.
I'm going to return the portion that is
That's correct.
due.
Of course.
And then, and that's it. So.
Because then there are no strings attached.
Right.
Then it can never be that, well, I did give you something extra.
Right.
What are you going to give me?
Exactly. I don't want to hear
never,
that.
Yeah. I never like the feeling of owing someone anything.
Right.
Never feels good.
Right.
Never.
I didn't want to do that. And then I thought, saying, well, in the future, then I thought, no, I don't think I could ever, number one, trust this man.
Right.
Respect this man, because I would have respected him. I might have even gone out to dinner with him. I don't even know. But had he had just been forthcoming with where his thoughts were.
So you think it would have been better if he would have actually said to you initially, hey, can we go on a date? Can we go to dinner? Can we grab lunch or a bite to eat? Let's just have a conversation, some coffee.
I would have respected
that. That would have been easier.
Yeah.
Now, would you have also taken a job? You say, let's go out to dinner. You go out on a date. Got to call it that. Have some dinner. Then later say, I have an event coming up. Would you like to be involved with that too? Would you have taken that?
I might have taken that, Doc. I might have taken that because
Because then it's no shadow there.
Exactly. It's just transparent and honest. And then it would have allowed me to make the decision.
Yeah, make your own choice.
Make my own choice. Absolutely. Because even if I go out on a date or a dinner or lunch or whatever with an individual, it doesn't have to lead to anything either. It could just be.
Of course not. Just going to becoming friends.
Exactly.
Or colleagues at least.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it's so amazing that someone can, approach you in a way that's respectful initially, but the undercurrent is very insidious, it's very devious. Those people are frightening, I think.
Yeah.
Because they're not authentic.
And that's what was scary, which is why I didn't offer my event planning services for the future.
Right.
Because there's event planners in every corner, and find yourself one that.
There's not one like you, though.
Thank you.
You're a whole different level of. I mean that sincerely, everyone. I mean, Janet's company, All Access Events. If you really want a A+ red carpet event, no matter what that may be, from a wedding to a premiere of a movie, her company and the way that she does it, just phenomenal.
Thank you, Doc.
I mean that. I mean that with all sincerity.
Thank you.
And if I didn't think you were good, I would tell you that too. I
know
would,
you would.
because it's. I think we learn from constructive criticism, not people just shining our shoes. We want people to say, "Hey, you got spots on your shoes. That doesn't look good. Hey, you gotta get some better shoes. Hey, your hair doesn't look great. Your teeth are crooked. Let's do something about it."
Yeah, you definitely will tell me, and I have to zip it up real quick.
Right.
But Doc, I posted online that we're doing a show about this very, very hot topic, and we have a caller that is called in. And
we do?
Yeah. So
Okay,
I'd like
let's
to take the call. I don't know who it is, so we're going to be surprised.
Let's do it. Hey, it's Dr. Levi, who we're speaking with. Hello.
Hi, it's Ashley Emery. Hi, Dr. Levi.
Hey, how you doing? Who is it? I couldn't hear the name.
Ashley Emery.
Oh, hey, Ashley Emery. Wow, happy to have you on the show. I know we're going to turn it up right now. I can tell you that right now.
As soon as Janet posted the topic, I was like, I have to call in. Like, this is too good. Like, I initially saw her post on Facebook.
Yes.
And I can totally relate. I mean, I'm 24, women in business.
Yes.
And this happens to me all the time.
Does it really, Ashley?
All the time. Like,
wow.
And the sad part is, the fact that they have to make up stories in order to, take you to a meeting, and you have to be real choosy about where they take you in the first place, and then certain hours, because they'll try, I'm available in the evening. No, you're not available only in the evening time. Sorry, sir.
Absolutely.
We're going to have to meet in a public space
during
the day.
Absolutely.
Where there's other people, because this is not a dating show.
Exactly. It's business. I have a question for you, Ashley. When things like this happen, and this is for you and for Janet, do you ever feel unsafe?
Absolutely. I mean, there's so many times where I've even given somebody a business card, and the business card, they take the opportunity to stalk you and call you. And
really?
Especially on social media, especially, that's why I stopped giving out my phone number. I you just have to communicate with me over email. And then after a while, you kind of seem like, you do your own investigation.
Yes.
You're okay, I can communicate with you over the phone, but there's been several times where I've definitely felt unsafe just by giving somebody a business card.
That's really unfortunate. And have you seen that same type of compromise with men as well as women?
Can you repeat the question?
Have you seen the same type of compromise with men as well as women who are just too forward about things and inappropriate? Or is it mainly with men?
I would say that definitely more men have been way more inappropriate. I definitely have had some women be also inappropriate towards me, but more men than anything have been definitely inappropriate when it comes to just their approach, and they don't even take you serious when they, you're talking about your business. It's okay, one ear and out the other. They're just staring at you and your body parts and just waiting, almost feel like a lion in a lion's den, and they're just waiting to eat you.
Really?
And it's it's that crazy.
That's crazy. So it almost feels like predator and prey.
Exactly.
That's really unbelievable. What about yourself, Jan, when you hear someone like a young businesswoman like Ashley talk about feeling unsafe?
Yeah, it's again, Doc, it makes me squirm because there's nothing wrong with feeling sexy, looking sexy, and being, feeling like you're on top of the world.
Like you said, confident.
But and then keeping up with trends and styles, and just because I wear a nice fitted dress doesn't mean that it gives you the right to. I mean, look, that's fine. We're used to get a little little look in,
Right.
but be respectful.
Of course,
Don't
of
stare
course.
down our shirt, or don't. So it really it's sad. It
Right.
really is sad.
I mean, Ashley said it so well. She said just to be in a meeting and have someone just not even look at you or listen to you, but stare at your body.
Right.
That.
Yeah.
It-
And
it's-
she also said something about where you meet and the time you meet.
Right.
I always try and schedule my meetings during lunchtime
Of
in a
course.
public place. Starbucks are great for that kind of stuff.
Right.
And but when they say, "Oh, come to my office," and especially being in Hollywood and in the
Yes.
music and TV industry, there's a lot of studios that look like dungeons, and you've got to go through these mazes and dark
That's
rooms
true.
to
That's
get to
true.
these studios. And
That's true.
sometimes I walk halfway and I thought, I couldn't find the place. Can we meet at
meet at
Starbucks?
somewhere- yeah, it doesn't
'Cause
feel
I just don't
safe.
feel the energy,
Right.
or whatever.
Right.
So
What about yourself, Ashley? When you feel that sense of that lack of safety or not feeling protected, what's the first thing that you do? Do you call someone and let them know where you're going to be meeting someone? Do you let the person know where you are, that, hey, I have to cut this meeting short, I don't feel good? Or, I mean, what do you do in that situation? I like our listening audience to have some coping mechanisms and tools that they can use if they don't feel safe or if they feel like someone's not taking them seriously.
Well, automatically, I just think a dollar is never worth your safety or
Right.
just compromising yourself and your values.
Yes.
So just having like an accountability partner or just a team of people, whether it be your family, whether it be your staff or anybody, and just letting them know, like, I make my calendar public to those people who are in my team. I'm like, hey, I have an appointment with this person. I always let them know ahead of time, especially if it's going to be just me and
Yes.
another man. And not to say that only men are predators, but definitely in my in situations I've experienced, I've experienced it solely from men. But I just always let people know where I'm going, how long the meeting's expected. Even when I'm there, I will text, like, say, my sister or something, and be like, okay, everything seems good. If not, I definitely have, like, my younger sister. I'd be like, 911, call me right now, make up some excuse, like,
Right.
get me out of here.
Right.
Scary.
It's really interesting that hearing your story, as a successful entrepreneurial woman, a true entrepreneur, that even you have been faced with that, like Janet. It makes me feel very badly that this is happening.
Yeah.
Because I have sisters, I have a mother,
Yes.
a grandmother, I have women in my life whom I love and adore and honor. So to hear someone disrespectful of women, it's really sad.
It really is.
What are your thoughts about this, Tony? When you hear this kind of happening?
Well, I mean, I'm not shocked. I
Right.
mean, being 47-year-old man, I've seen it, and being from the Midwest, I honestly believe, as in racism, hatred, anything, it starts way back into your family.
Right, at home.
At home is how, your grandfather treated
Right.
women, your dad treated women. So I think it really starts back at that
At
part
that
in your
base.
life, at that base.
Right.
And I think women should call them out on it for the fact is, because
very much
otherwise they're going to continue to do it.
Absolutely.
Right.
And the more that they get, and I hate to say it, publicly chastised or whatever,
Right,
just in
right.
some way, I think they need to be called out on it,
Right.
because they're not going to change their behavior by just saying, stop doing that, or I'm not that type of girl or anything.
Right.
They're not going to stop
Right.
until they get
Right.
Until they get burned.
burned.
Right.
Yeah. Somebody posted that on one of the comments. They're like, well, tell us what happened and mention his name so he can finally stop.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Ashley? When this has happened, have you ever called out someone who's been doing this to you? Like to say, hey, you know what you're saying and doing is really inappropriate. This is a business meeting. Either we're going to talk about business or I'm going to leave. Have you ever been in that situation to say those types of things?
I feel like there's definitely situations where I felt more comfortable doing it,
Yes.
especially if I've had a business relationship with them prior, and then the more time you do business with them, then they start thinking in their head like, you want them or something.
Really?
But I think I always just gauge I gauge the situation to see if it's safe, because not everybody is going to want to hear, especially from a 24-year-old, I'm going to call you out, and then you never know how they're going to respond, whether violently or verbally abusive. So I always think, okay, is this the most appropriate time to address you, or is this something that maybe I can have one of my male business partners come and have a discussion with me?
Right.
But I don't always feel 100% safe to call them out right then and there.
Wow, that's really something, Ashley. What are your thoughts there, Tony?
Oh,
That's
I
quite a
agree with that.
statement.
And when I say call them out, not directly. I mean, you could say, I don't. This is
I don't
not what I
feel
want to
good.
do. But
Right.
after the fact, because like you said, some people may not react well with getting called
Rejected.
out face to face.
Wow.
Yeah.
Depending on the situation and where we're at, the circumstances.
Because where I'm from, country boys,
Right.
you talk to my sister that way, the family members getting in the
It's
truck, and here we go.
going
Oh, really?
down.
It's on.
So I mean, but like she said, tell a male
Right.
business partner who
Right.
can address it, and then that might treat the situation differently.
Right.
Isn't it so sad though that like Ashley, this creative, brilliant entrepreneur, this great woman, cannot have just a business meeting without someone having a secondary agenda.
It's
I
sad.
think that's unbelievable, Ashley, that you just starting your career at 24, the genius that you are, to be impacted by that type of negativity.
Right.
And what about yourself, Janet? What do you do when you're in that type of situation?
Well, I have been in some compromising situations like that. And the first
Where
thing
you
that-
actually felt unsafe?
Oh, absolutely. Not too long ago, like in the last 3 or 4 months, I was in a situation where I felt very, very unsafe, and I needed to make a quick decision to get myself out of that situation
Right.
because the intentions were not good, and I might have gotten hurt.
Really?
Yes, and so it was scary, and it was an eye opener once again. And for a quick second, I had like what did I do? What did I say, or what am
make
I
them think
wearing
that-
to make
that-
them think?
But see, what I think is so important that I would like women to really get, and I know many do, is the fact that no matter what you wear, you are
Still,
not
right.
You should not be treated like
Right.
you should be treated with respect.
Absolutely.
And number two, no matter what you wear, and does not give someone permission to victimize you.
Exactly.
It doesn't.
Right.
When this old, for example, the old thing you heard people say, well, she was wearing it, she must have wanted it.
She
well, that's
asked for it,
ridiculous.
right.
A woman can wear whatever she wants to wear. Men wear whatever they want to wear.
Right.
So
There's a comment on here. The guy says, "Well, start looking ugly."
well, what a.
I was laughing.
When I really want to respond to that, I can't on air.
Yeah.
That is not. It wouldn't be correct.
There's another comment on here, Doc. He actually is a professional comedian, a stand-up comic, and then he made a funny remark, and then I said, "Hey, why don't you use this content? I've got plenty to give you, and turn it around and make it a funny, but." Also to make women aware that this stuff
is
exists.
happening.
So he wants to meet up. He says, that sounds like a great idea. Let's make it funny, but let's put it out there.
Right.
So
Because the base of it is definitely unfunny.
right.
So it'll take a lot of genius on his part to make it funny.
Right.
Because when it comes to the safety of women and their compromise, sexually or physically or even cyberbullying, don't
Right.
forget, you can be compromised with cyber gangsters who can follow you and say and do things that can be damaging to a
Right,
company. It can
right.
be damaging, they can put Yelp reviews on it. It can be just as horrific.
Absolutely.
Just to get back at you because you don't want to have a romantic or physical relationship. I find it unbelievable, Ash, that in 2017 that you and Janet and so many other women
Right.
are still being confronted with this thing.
Right.
What do you think will help to turn this around, Ashley?
I think honestly for me, I'm not trying to play the blame game, but I had to look at myself, and I had to look at how am I presenting myself, and just like different decision making to be more, because unfortunately I know that I can't change every predator out there. There's just some sick people out there.
Absolutely.
But being more cautious about decisions, so just changing simple things, having people that I can or know where I'm going, and
Yes.
that definitely made a difference. Or just asking more questions and hearing from older women about how do they say no, and just being more okay with setting boundaries verbally in addition to physically, You know what I mean? Like, you don't always have to reach in for a hug. Let me just give you a handshake. And,
Right.
like small things that definitely make a difference when it comes to just having to meet with another business person out in the world.
Right.
So I just had to look at myself and just really started taking that time that I needed to first stop blaming myself and not be like, okay, it's just, if I wore something different. I mean, at this point, I could have worn something completely covered me from head to toe, and you only see my eyes, and it doesn't make a difference. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You could smile at someone, and they think that, oh, that means that she wants you. Like,
Right.
But so I just had to, like, okay, first stop blaming myself. 2, being comfortable communicating my boundaries.
Absolutely.
And if the person aren't comfortable communicating with the boundaries, then you walk away. And if one door closes, does not mean that all the doors are going to close.
Absolutely.
And you keep going and you take other opportunities.
Absolutely. I love that statement you made about, handshake versus a hug, and also about not blaming yourself. I think there's no woman on the earth that should blame themselves for anyone being inappropriate toward them. It's the stupidity or the ignorance of the person that is doing that. It's not the woman, no matter what she's wearing. It is never anyone's right or privilege to say anything disparaging or inappropriate to a woman because of what she's wearing.
Right.
No matter what she's wearing, it's never okay. So I think you're absolutely right, Ashley, and I totally agree with you that you should not have any self-blame about it. You should not feel like, well, you can't wear the dress or the coat or the jacket or the blouse that you want to wear because someone's going to say, oh, well, if she wears that, maybe she wants something. It's totally... It's unfounded. It's ridiculous. Now, what are your thoughts, Janet?
Well, in closing, Doc, because our time is up, and I'm not used to being on this side of the camera, so I'm going to say, cut!
Yes, of course, with your big scissors.
My big scissors.
Right. I want to show everyone. This is what I have to look at, guys. This is what Janet shows me. Like when I'm talking, these big homemade shears that she looks up at me and does this, and she's putting this in my face like, come on.
Cut.
Our previous engineer with Jarvis, she and Jarvis would look at each other. Sometime I almost past this thing that says big scissors, like cut. Done.
So in closing, Doc,
Yes.
before I flash my own scissors,
Yes.
I just want to remind women that we have to understand our worth.
Right.
We have to believe in ourselves, stay focused, stay determined, and stand your ground. We're beautiful inside and out, no matter what it is that you've got going on. You're a beautiful human being.
I agree.
We have a lot of power. We just have to know how to use it.
Absolutely.
And just, love as a hashtag love life.
Right.
And just, just go for it.
And not be courageous and fearless, strategize, as Ashley said, have a plan, an action plan, and also have boundaries. This is not going to happen. To let people know, this is business.
Right. And not allow anyone to disturb your peace.
Or
Stay
disrespect
in your
you.
lane. No.
Women should never be disrespected. If someone does that, they have to, as Tony said really well, you have to call them out. You either do it there or later, but you have to let them know that that type of behavior is not acceptable.
Right.
No, it's not.
Right.
I want to thank everyone for joining us. I want to thank Tony for bringing his sense of truth in with us. I want to thank Janet Rodriquez for sharing her thoughts about everything. Of course, great Ashley Emerson. And Ashley, what are you up to right now? How can people reach you?
People can definitely reach me on Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat, Ashley C. Emery. And you can get on contact with me via email through my Instagram as well. I'm still doing motivational speaking.
Fantastic.
Super excited to be getting more involved down here in Long Beach in the LA area.
Absolutely. We'll have to do something together. Janet and I, we talked about that a while ago. We'll have to do some event together where you and I can get on stage and just talk about things because I think your platform is very strong. I think it's fortified with your experience because life is experiential, of course. And I also think you bring such a sense of authenticity and truth about what you're going through and how to make it better, not just for you, but for other people. So thank you, Ashley.
Thank you so much, Dr. Levi.
All right. Thank you, Janet.
Thank you, sweetheart. Hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tony. Okay, goodbye, everybody. It's Dr. Levi. This is about women empowerment and about letting you know how they should be loved, respected, and their boundaries should be definitely respected. This is Dr. Levi. See you soon. Bye.